folks. We're underneath my Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.7 Hemi engine, and it's the intermittent no crank problem where you turn the key and you just get a click. I've eliminated the problem down to the lead that goes to the starter solenoid, and I'm going to show you that the starter solenoid is right behind that little insulating plate, and that's the starter behind it. So when I take that 10mm screw or bolt loose, we will get access to the connections for the starter solenoid, and we're going to check the leads to make sure they're tight or not corroded or anything that would create a resistance that would cause a similar problem to what we're having. So I get me a 10mm, use an open end wrench and see if I can get a better action. Okay, there, yeah, open end will do good. I think I fixed my problem, and I was having every time I went to start the vehicle, I had to operate the switch like 6 times real fast, and then finally it would start. Now before, this has been getting worse and worse. Before, I could change the start relay and rock it around, and it would go for months and months without any problem. Slowly it's been getting worse and worse. This is the green wire. It's kind of a light green yellow right here, and this is a slide-on connector. Now this is wood I'm messing with. The battery is connected, so do not put any kind of tools in here, metal, and mess with this. The red one is the hot lead from the battery for starting the motor, the starter motor. So I wiggled this around the best I could with my hand up in there, just kind of rocking it back and forth, and now she cranks every time with good solid cranking. I would suggest that you maybe take that heat shield that I showed you, the 10mm bolt, and the 10mm bolt connects the heat shield right here, and there's the heat shield. Now you want to put that back and don't drop the bolt, so hold on to it securely, and you could take it loose and bend it back a little bit and see if you can get your hand up or some way rock that that connection, or look at it and see if it looks corroded or you know, some kind of problem, or maybe heat. And there is a little bit of bubbling. I don't know if that's gotten hot or what. The bubbling is right down here, so that connection may have gotten hot, and it's corroded. There may be corrosion or something, and moving it may correct it. It'd be nice if I could get it off and then slide it back on, but I'm afraid to take it off because I may not be able to get it back on without taking the drive shaft loose and a whole lot of work. So I would suggest getting your hand up in there, somebody with skinny hands, and wiggle the connection a little bit and then see if it starts any better. If I end up with another problem, now that I know the color of the wire, I'm going to look in the fuse compartment and find that wire and put a positive voltage. Now I'm going to verify it by putting checking to make sure by putting a positive onto the relay contact point, the connector point, and checking that with a probe on the lead and putting it on, taking it off, to make sure that I do have the correct lead. So you don't want to just grab any greenish yellow wire and start putting battery on it. So you better be very careful, and if you're really not familiar with DC voltage, maybe this might not be for you, because you could cause more trouble if you do the wrong thing. I can't tell you everything to do, but just play it safe. And the best thing you could do is rock that connection and see if it helps your starting along with the new relay, and just look at the condition of it and see what you got. Okay, so you're a little closer, we're a little closer to the problem. I've isolated the problem, the no start, down to this lead, because when I get to the contact point for this lead up at the start relay and put battery on it from the positive terminal of the battery through a fuse, sometimes it doesn't start. So that tells me that it's either the connector point at the start relay or this point right here, and it even could be in the solenoid, but I don't think so. I think it's an electrical connection between these 2 points. Okay, you do your own investigation and play it safe. Now, this is all positive voltage down here. Do not stick a tool in there. Now, I'm telling you, you be safe. Okay, use your hand to rock. You won't get electrocuted. Just this is DC voltage, and you could even, if you want to be on the safe side, the best thing to mess with this would be to take the battery terminal loose, and then you can stick your hand up there and rock these this contact. That's the only contact you gotta rock. That's a starter solenoid connection point. Okay, good luck on your troubleshooting. I hope it works. I'll give you a little better look at that wire. Okay, let's see. Right there. Can you see it? Look at that connection now. Take a good look. Okay, that's that green wire that goes on to that connect. That's a slide-on connector, and that big red one should be a screw-on connector. So don't mess with it. And all of that that red wire is hot with battery voltage. The green wire only gets battery when you operate the start relay. Okay, all right. There you go. That's your source of possible problems. That connection is exposed to weather, and it could, a little moving back and forth could break loose any corrosion, and that's about the best you can do without taking the starter out. Okay? All right, try that first.